Our first myth today came via request, and it's the claim that Ray Charles' iconic song What I Say was actually written by accident. This really doesn't hold much water, as if there's ever been a musician who was notorious for his amount of perfectionism and his completely planned performances and songs, it was Ray Charles. In fact, it's well documented that he would never try out a song in front of a live audience before it was recorded. But oddly enough, this one isn't myth. It's completely true, and it happened on stage in December of 1958. Ray Charles and his band had been booked for what was a then typical 4-hour performance. They'd usually run till about 2 a.m., but on this night, the band ran out of songs with about 15 minutes left in the set. As the story goes, Ray told his backup singers in the band that he was basically just going to start jamming and to follow along as best as they could. This is probably why at its core, the riff to the song is so simple and a bit predictable for Ray Charles, because he probably didn't want to throw off the rest of the band while he was improvising. This is also how the legendary call and response lyrics came to be, as the Raylettes simply had to respond back to what he was saying because they had no idea what he was going to sing. Apparently, the crowd reacted very positively and very quickly to this new song, and the melody and the words to the songs were written down, and over the next few nights, the band kind of figured it out to the form we know now. So while Ray Charles stands as one of the most infamous perfectionists in all of music history, it's completely true that What I'd Say stands as one of those happy accidents in music history. The second myth today is more of a musical clarification, as I realized over the past week that there's a very significant misconception people have about a very popular musical work. Most people refer to this brief musical moment as the Hallelujah chorus, and it's often used to punctuate moments of triumph all across popular culture. You know, that moment when you hear that chorus of people singing Hallelujah? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about here. This actually originally comes from Handel's Messiah, which is the story of the life of Jesus. But to tell you the truth, this one is as far from a moment of happiness as you can possibly find in all of history. You see, this moment actually comes at the very end of the work, when Jesus comes back to earth. And this is basically what most people know as the Book of Revelations, which is where the story starts to get dark and chaotic, and Jesus ends the world as we know it. Death, destruction, streets filled with the blood of the non-believers. Yep, that's actually the context behind that moment of hallelujah. So next time you hear it being used in one of those upbeat, celebratory manners, go ahead and tell them they've got it wrong. Our final myth today was also a request, and it revolves the claim that one night on stage, Tool's Maynard James Keenan spent the entire evening making animal noises. Tool is certainly a band that plays by their own rules, but even for them, this is a bit outrageous. But the fact of the matter is, this is mostly true. All the way back in 1993, Tool somehow got booked to play the Church of Scientology's Celebrity Center. And this is the same band that only a few years later would unleash an amazing lyric against that same church. Apparently, before the band went on stage, there were some negative interactions between the venue staff and the band, and obviously the band had ill feelings about the place to begin with. And Maynard actually spent a majority of the show making ba-ba noises like a sheep. I am not kidding you at all. This is not myth. It is 100% fact. So those are the myths for today. Be sure to check back here every Thursday as I delve into some of the coolest stories of music history, and be here every day for all the music news, reviews, and knowledge you'll ever need.